So, welcome all of you on the session 6. And today we'll be discussing some interesting stuff about our custom component events and application event. We'll be implementing and registering our custom component event as well. So, it will be a very practical session today. But before that, let's take a look and see what we have covered in week 1. So, we have covered basics of Lightning Component Framework and the Salesforce ecosystem. We have covered the component bundle and the usage of each file. We have seen the usage of Lightning App Builder, how you can create your pages using Lightning App Builder. And we have also seen the standalone Lightning application as well, which will be available using custom URL. We have seen how to make your component more dynamic using attributes. Also, along with that, we have seen like how to access your attributes in controller.js file or helper.js file, and then how to get and set the value of your attributes in your controller helper file. Then we have seen how to handle user events and system events. User events being your browser events like on click or on mouse move, on change, these events which are fired by user actions. So if user clicks on a button, that particular on click event will be fired. System events are the events which are fired by the Aura framework itself. So it includes your render events and your init events. We have covered the difference between these. Then we have seen how to call your server side controller from your client side controller. We have seen that, and we have fetched the card type list from the server side. And then in the end, we have seen how to use inheritance in the in Lightning. So these are the topics that we have covered during week 1. So let's see today's agenda. So first of all, we'll be seeing the components of rent a car application. So we'll be seeing how many components are there in our rent a car application, and then we'll be seeing how to comment your markup. You guys may be already aware about it since we have already done it, but still let's do it today again and see how to comment your code in your markup file in your JS files. And then we'll be creating one more component. Till now we have only created one component, that is our car search form component. Let's create one more component, that is car tile component. So that will be that component will be using to show your car images along with the car owner name. Then we'll be seeing our custom lightning events. So there are two type of custom lightning events. One is your component events and the second one is your application events. We'll be covering the difference between these, and then we will be using component events today. The application events will be covering in coming sessions. Then again, we'll be having a small introduction to our third component in rent a car application, which is car search component. So it will be a parent component of three other components. So we'll be seeing the usage of this one. The lab exercise are only two. One is your car tile markup, and the second one is raising and handling custom component events. So this is our rent a car application. I believe I have shown you in the session 2. So the rent a car application has 9 uh, components. It does not look like that it has 9 components, but let's break down the rent a car application and see what is the use of each component. So if you see at the top, this search your car component, it's the car search form component that we have built till now in week 1. The second component is your car tile component. So if you see, there are 8 images on the page. So each of these are coming from car tile component. The third component is your car search result component. It's a parent component for your car tile component. So in our car search result component, we'll be iterating over car tile component and we'll be displaying these images. The fourth component that we'll be having introduction today about car search component. It's a parent component of your first and third component, which is your car search form component and your car search result component. We can say it's a grandparent of your car tile component as well. So these are the four components involved on the main section. On the right hand side bar, we again have five different components. First is your car detail component. So we'll be displaying the car details like the car name, its type, its build year, the rent per day, and the mileage. So this will be coming in your car detail component. This again, beside this we have two more component, experience and add experience. So experiences will be showing the list of experiences shared by other users or other car rentees. And in add experience you can submit your own experience, or we can say your review. Combining these three, we have a parent component called car details component. It's not car detail, it's car details component, which will be the parent for all these three components. And in the end we will be having a component for showing up car location. So the component name will be car location. So this is the breakdown of our rent a car application, and these are the 9 components that we'll be developing to make it a complete uh, user experience, or to make it a complete application. So let's start with how to comment your code. So you can comment your code in your component markup and in your JS files as well. So to comment your code in a component markup, you should start with less than symbol along with exclamatory and two hyphens. So this is how you start your comment, and you can end it with two hyphen and then your greater than symbol. So this is how you can comment your code in component markup. We'll be seeing it today. And to comment your code in JavaScript, it's pretty similar to other programming languages. Again, there are two type of comments in JavaScript file. One is your single line comment, so that you can do by using double slash. If you want to make a multiple line comment, then you have to use slash star to start your comment. And once after the line of comments, you can again include star and uh, inverse slash to end your multiple line comment. So this is how you can comment in your JS file or markup file. Again, we'll be seeing this today. Now let's start developing our car tile component. So as shown you the component breakdown of rent a car applications, your car tile component will come under car search result components, and this will be the main component to show your car image along with the owner name. So if you see here, we are seeing different car images along with the owner name at the bottom part. So this component will include CSS, multiple CSS classes along with uh, image rendering and everything. So we'll be developing it now. Open your developer console. I have already done this part, so but I'll be explaining you the code. But before that, let me show you the output, how your component will look like. Again, we'll be doing it in your rent a car application. The output may not be as you are expecting it to be, but still it will give you an idea how it will how it will be shown. So again, we are seeing our car search form component at the top part. So like we are seeing our pick list field or select field along with one submit button. The new button is not visible here since it's not supported in standalone Lightning application. But at the bottom of the or at the main section of the screen, we are seeing a car image which has taken the complete UI space, because we are not iterating over it, or we are only defining one component and giving it the complete size of the screen. So that's why we are seeing it here like this. But as we will move on with our exercises in coming section, it will be it will definitely look like this. Excuse me. Okay. So to start with car tile component markup, go to your file, new, and again Lightning component. Give it a name of car tile. Give it a description, and again it's up to you which interfaces you want to choose here, which interfaces you want to select for your component. For me, I have selected FlexiPage available for all page types, which make your component available for all the pages supported in Lightning App Builder. So what am I doing here? I am defining a attribute here of type car double underscore c. So this is our object type. So if you go to your org, you will see the API name of car object is car double underscore c. You can give it object as well. but then you may have to parse it in car double underscore c. The name of the attribute is car, so it will hold the properties of your car record. So here we are not making it dynamic for now because it will be coming from your car search result. So what we are doing, we are making it, we are giving default properties to this uh, attribute. So if you are declaring it as object, here you can define as object type here car double underscore like this. And then we are using a lightning button here. The variant is neutral. So if you go back to your seed dot app, you will be seeing there are 5 variants of component lightning colon button. So we are using neutral button there. So it will be like this. So if you see the second button neutral, so it's like white in the background and with blue letters. So again, it's up to you which kind of variant you want to define here. It's totally up to you, but we will be totally designing this lightning component or lightning button using our own style sheets. So what we are doing in this lightning button, first of all, we are giving it a background image. So how you can do that? So we are using a div style tag along a div HTML tag. Along with that, we are defining a style attribute. In that style attribute, we are giving a background image URL. So it's like standard way to give a background image to your HTML component. It's not specific to lightning. So you can, if you can search it on the Google, you will see the same piece of line of code there as well. So it's like a standard. In the URL, you need to give your uh, image file location here. So for me, it's resources, cars, luxury. Then I have an image there, Ford Mustang and JPEG. So I am using this image here. How can I do that? Again, I have my value provider which will fetch the attribute from for me. Which attribute I'm looking for? I'm looking for the car attribute here, which is defined here. Now, since car is a object type of attribute, you can access its property as well. Along how you can do that? You can do that again with dot operator. So you have got your car object. Now you want to fetch the picture location. How you can do that? Again, use the dot operator and then your picture location like this. So this will display a background image. Along with that, I have given it a class inner tile. We'll see what we have written in inner tile class in our style file. But let's move on with markup first. So in our div class, we have two more things defined here. First is your lower third. So the lower third is used for giving your to display your owner name here basically. So what we are doing here, we are displaying the owner name here like uh, the way we are seeing it on the screen. So that's why we are giving one more class here, is it lower third. And here we are displaying the contact name, or what we can say, your car owner name here. So let's go to your style component. Some of these will implement in tomorrow session, but for today we have to look at our inner tile component, the inner tile class, and lower third class. So in inner tile class, this is a simple CSS I'm using to give it like width or height 100%, again with some background position as center. The size is covered. You can find what these properties mean by simply going on W3 school. You will be able to see the meaning of each and every line. So go to W3 school here. So this is the website for uh, that I use for CSS and JavaScript. And here you can search the style, background size, and then you will be seeing different values that we can provide here. And again, you can create your own style based on your needs. Then the lower third class is having this CSS attribute. So like we have given the padding and the background color. So the background color, if you see here, it's uh, it's a transparent gray color background that we are giving. So using this line of code, we have given the padding so that our name will be visible in the middle part. So this is what I am doing to design my component. If you want, you can use the same style sheet, or you can come up with your own style sheet here. So if you see the controller, it's completely empty as of now because we are not doing anything with the car tile component as of now. So if you click on here, nothing will show up because the controller itself is empty, and we are not defining any on click event in our markup as well. So this is how you can display your car tile component. We'll be making it more dynamic once we'll be creating our car search result component. From there, we'll be iterating over this car tile component, and we'll be uh, displaying all the images which exist on the server side by our again with our Aura iteration component. Okay, so let's move forward. So this is the main task that we have today for the lightning events. So what I can say, this is the core of lightning framework. So because again, since we are saying the lightning is a single uh, page, it follows a single page design pattern. So all the components will be visible on the single page, and they will be interacting with each other. So there should be some mechanism that allow them to communicate with each other. So there are custom component events or application events comes in picture. Your component events can only be handled by your component hierarchy, or we can say your parent components. It cannot be handled by child components. It can only be handled by the component itself or the parent components in the same component hierarchy. And the second, and the application event can be handled by any component which is there on the same page, or we can say even if it's on the if it's not on the same page and somehow it's on the UI, and it's rendered on the UI, it can handle the event which are being fired from other components. So it works on the publish and subscribe model. So let's say your cartel component is firing a event, application event, and any of these remaining 8 components has subscribed to that particular event. So let's say I am firing like car is selected, so I have a application event, let's say car selected, and my car retail component has subscribed to this event car selected. So your car retails component can handle the event and generate the output accordingly. So this is what the main difference between application event and component event. So if your car tile event is firing a component event, it can only be handled by car search result and car search component. But if it is firing a application event, it can be handled by all of these uh, 8 component, or maybe the car tile component itself can handle the event. So application event can be handled by all other events which has subscribed to that particular application event. So that is the main difference between these two. So today we'll be looking at our component events. We are not looking at application event that we'll be doing when we'll be creating our car details component. So your a component event is fired from an instance of a component. So by instance of a component, I mean it can be fired only within from the component markup itself. So the component markup will again include your JS file and everything. So you can use your controller or helper to fire a event, to fire a component event. It can be handled by the component itself or all the parent in the component hierarchy. So now, to fire an event and handle the event, there are some steps that we need to make sure that we are doing. The first thing is we need to define the custom component event. So we need to create an event in our in our Lightning framework or in our Salesforce org. Then we need to register that particular event using our Aura colon register event. So this Aura colon register event should be included in the component from where we are going to fire the component event. The third point is raising the event using event.fire. So now you can use your controller file to fire the event, and that can be handled using Aura colon handler in your parent component or within the same component hierarchy. Again, like you can define the action in those handler to handle the event. So let's say once your car is selected, you want to show an alert pop up that your car the Mercedes Benz has been selected. So again, you can write your own custom logic to do the post processing of handling the event. So these are the 5 steps that we need to make sure that we are doing in order to handle the component events. So introduction to our car search component, why I've created this slide. So let me tell you the usage of car search component. So in our code, we once we click on the search button or the submit button, what we want to do, we want to fetch all the cars belongs to that particular car type category. So like if you are searching the luxury cars, then we want to make sure those luxury cars are fetched from server and are supplied to another component, that is car search result component. So between car search form and car search result, we have one common component or parent component, that is car search form. So that's why this component is very important, that we are aware about the functionality of this particular component. We are only using this component, car search component, to handle the events which are being fired by these three child components. So your car search component is the parent of car search form and car search result component. It's also a grandparent component of car tile component as well. Since this is a parent component, it can handle the events, or it can handle the component events fired by first of all your car search form component. It can handle the event from your car search result component as well, and then it can handle the event from your car tile component as well. So this is the main exercise of today, raising and handling the custom component events. So what we want to do, let me show you here. So once you click on this submit button, what you want to do, your code should go should call a server side controller, and it should fetch all. So let's say if I'm selecting sports here and clicking on submit, so your code should go to your server and fetch all the cars belong to sports category. So that is what we are trying to do. But if you do that in your car search form component, it won't give you an what we say meaningful output, because your car search form can only handle the search button and new button. It doesn't show the images of the car, it doesn't show the properties of the car. And if we want to do that, we can again do that in the same component car search form as well. But that then we are not following the best practices of lightning framework, because it's a component driven framework. So every small functionality that we can include in a component, so let's segregate that functionality and create a component for that. Because again we can combine those component as per our business need, using your lightning page app builder, or using your parent component as well. But if you write everything in your one everything in one component itself, then you are not segregating the different requirement that can be handled by different components. So that's why we are having 4 different components just to show these car images. So let's complete this lab exercise. So what we are going to do, we are going to again we'll go to your car search form component here. And first thing that let's remove this alert here, because it's not making any sense. So uh, we just did it for the demonstration purpose. So let me remove this. So what we can do, we can simply remove this on change event here. Optionally, you can remove the on change event from the your controller as well. So now your controller should have 3 function. First of all, your do init. So do init function is checking if the new button should be visible on your UI or not, and then it is fetching the card types from the server. So now what we want to do, on the on the search click, we want to fire a component event. So how to do that? So let's follow the same exercise again. So let's follow these uh, steps here. First of all, what we need to do, we need to create a component event. How you can do that? Go to file, new, And instead of lightning component, select lightning event this time and give your lightning event any name. I already have my event created. Let me just get that event. Mm, Where is, yes, car search form submit event. So this is the event that I have created. So one more thing, so like if you click on the submit button, once you click on the event here, so by default it generates a application event here. So you need to change it from application to component. By default it looks like this, application here, and the body will be empty, it will be like this. So by default you will get something like this. So you need to change it to component here because we are firing the component event. And then in the attribute section, what you want to define is like what kind of data your event should carry. So your event will carry a car type id which can be used by the event handlers, so which will be defined in our car search component here. So once you create this search form submit event here, we need to fire it. The second steps is register the event uh, in your component. So what component do we have for this one? We have car search form component here. It it doesn't register any event. If you see at the markup, it doesn't register any event. So how you can do that? So if you see, register, you need to use oracle and register component here. Then you need to define the name of the event. It can be anything. Again, it should not be the similar to your component name, so you can give it any name. In the type section, you need to give the name of your component. You need to give the name of your event. So we have this this search form submit event. So if you see here, this is the event that we have created. So the name should be similar to your event name here. And again, you don't have to define any action for this event because from here we are just firing this event. So once you register this event, let's go back and check the third step. So you need to fire the event from your controller. So how you can do that? Go back to your code, go to your controller file. In your own search, click remove this code because we do not want to use it now. And also we do not need to have this helper function as well. So here we are going to fire the event. How you can do that? Simply call the, let me just get the code for you. So if you come here, so this is what I've returned to call your to fire your event. So first of all, you need to get the event. So this is the name that you have given in your markup file. So here, if you see, the search form submit is the name of the event that we have just registered. It's the name of the event which is defined in search form submit event. And this is how you can get it. Simply, you need to call the method get event by using your component reference. So this search form submit will hold the event now, and you need to pass the parameters as well. So if you see here, our component was expecting one parameter. Let me open this component again. So we have given one attribute here, so which will hold the id of car type category. So that's why we are passing the car type id from here. So how we are getting the car type id? So if you remember from previous session, we had our aura id defined for select item. So this is the aura id that we had, and we are fetching this lightning column select using this aura id here, uh, using this component dot find method. So now we have the lightning column select here, but we want to get the selected value from here. So how you can get that? You can get the attribute value using get method here. So you can so why I'm doing value here? Because my value attribute, this value attribute will hold the currently selected option value. You can again fetch the name, label, or anything by just giving uh, the attribute name here. So you can make it name. So if you give it name, then again it will fetch the lightning colon select name, which will be select item. So it won't be uh, useful for us. We need to get the id of car type. So that's how you can do it, get v dot value. And again it uses the json format. So you need to define which parameter you are passing here. So if you go back to our event here, our parameter name or attribute name is car type id. So that's why I'm writing car type id here, and this is how I'm passing the id of selected uh, option here. Once you do this, you just simply need to fire the event. As soon as you write this line, once your code will come in on search click and this event has been fired, this event can be handled by any parent component in the same parent hierarchy, in the same component hierarchy. So let's save this. Okay, what error we are getting? Line 26, something I have on line 26. Okay, multiple. So as soon as you fire this, your parent component, which is car search component, can handle this event. So we have fired it, but we have not seen how to handle it. So for that, we need to create our car search component as well. So to do that, again go to your file. Let me close all these. Mm, yeah, go to your file, new component, give it a name called car search or any name that you want. And then again it's up to you which attribute that you want to, which interface that you want to implement here. For me, I have let me open my car search component here. So this is a car search component. I have already removed the unnecessary code from it, because we are not. So the car search component again will handle the events being generated from all the child components. So so we'll be modifying the code of car search component in our further session. But for today, what we need to do, we need to handle this event, which is search form submit event, which is being fired from our car search form component. And what it's giving us the selected car type id. So if you go back to your car search component here, I have handled it using the same component or same tag that we were using to handle our system events as well. So I'm using the ori handler here. Go back to your car search form. See how you handle your init event. You handle it using ori handler. So the same way we are handling it, the same way we'll be handling our application or our component events as well. So the or now instead of init, we are giving it a name of uh, uh, that we want. So this name again can be anything, but it should be similar in your controller file that we'll be doing now. So you can give it any name. The event should be the same as your search form submit event or your event name that you have created. Now here we have extra attribute called action. So why do we have this action attribute? So so it will have the JavaScript action name which you want to execute once your event is being handled. So if let me give you the scenario, or let me give you what we are doing here now. So your car search form is firing an event, and it is passing the car type id, which is being handled by your car search component. And your car search component will have a javascript function to handle the event and do the post processing. So here we have do form submit method which will be handling this event. Again, in our car search form component, I have included our car search form as well. So why I included it? So if you don't include the car search form here, your car search will not become the parent of your car search form component, and it will not be able to handle the event which is being fired by car search form. So that's why I have included it. I have wrapped it up with lightning colon card. So this is the best way to show your component with some title. So if you see the output of our component, so you must be seeing this search your car title here. In the bottom you will be seeing the matching car title here. Here you are seeing current car location. So these all are coming from your lightning card. So here I have given the title as search your car, which will be displayed like this, search your car. And along with that, I am giving it a class. So that is like optional. You can give, there's not much code written in the style. What it's doing, it's simply making your it's just simply doing a margin of 10 pixel from the bottom part. So if you see the space here between matching cars and search your car, so this is coming using that style type. So this is all about the markup of car search. Now let's see what do we need to do and how to handle this event. So you need to go to your controller file. You need to look for the method called do form submit, which is written here. And this do form submit again will hold the three attributes or three parameters which are passed by the Aura framework. First is your component, second is your event, third one is helper. We have seen the usage of component and helper, but we have not seen the usage of event. So since we are handling a event here, what we need to do, we need to get the car type ID from the event. So how you can do that? In your event, use the method called get params, and then you can give the attribute name here. So our attribute name which was there in our event is car type ID. So that's why I have given it like car type ID here. And now we will have our car type ID in our uh, do form submit function as well. How you are making sure like we do have it or not? So you can simply write console.log and see if you are getting the car type ID or not. Car type ID, selected car type ID, and here you can give your car type ID. Save the code. Now what we are going to do in our rent a car application, instead of car tile, let's include, instead of car search form, which is the child component of car search, let's include the parent component. And since your parent component already includes your child component, so you should be able to see your child component as well along with your parent component. So what we are going to do, we'll make a small change in our rent a car application, and instead of car search form, we'll include car search here and save it. And now let's see the output. So if you see here, so there are two changes that has been done. So first of all, you are seeing this search your car on the top left corner. So this is coming because of the lightning card, the component that we use, and is the title that we have given to our lightning card. Again, it's doing the same process that it were doing before. So it's your car search form component. How to make sure which components are rendering on the UI? Go to inspect, go to your lightning plugin. I have already told you about the lightning plugin in, I guess, in our third or fourth session. If you don't know about it, again go to uh, so there is a post that I've shared about debugging your lightning components. So there I have given the link for this particular plugin. Download the plugin for Chrome. So in this plugin you will be seeing the complete markup. So if you see here, this is our rent a car application. Let me just, okay. So this is our rent a car application. In our rent a car application, first of all, we have a car search form component. So this is the parent component of our uh, car search form component. So this is the if you want to see where our car search form component is, so come down, we should be able to see that. Okay. So here, if you see, this is our car search form component, which is wrapped up inside car search form component. And we should be able to see our car tile component as well. So there you go. So we have our car tile component as well. So this is how you can see the complete page markup If you use the elements tab here or sources tab here, it doesn't give you any idea which lighting components you are uh, which lighting components are rendered on the UI, because it converts everything into HTML. But using the Lightning plugin, you can see your actual Lightning component name and along with the code which Lightning framework is using. So since we have our car search form and car search component on the same page, let's see if you are getting the car type ID or not once we click on the submit button. So let's say select sports, click on submit. Okay, we are getting an here. Cannot read property get of undefined. And where it's coming from, car search form. Let's go to our car search form component. It's showing cannot read property get of undefined. So where we are using get, here we are using get. So it's saying this component dot find car type is null. So let's see if we have, okay. So I see the error here. So our Aura ID is car type list here, but what we are using here is car type. So let me change it now and let's see if it shows the output or not. Again, let me select. Yep. So now if you see on the console, we are seeing selected car type ID is this. Since we have selected luxury car, let's just verify in our Salesforce org. Go to your Salesforce org, duplicate it, give the ID on the URL, and let's it should be the luxury car type record that it should display. Yep. So we are getting the correct car type ID which is being supplied by car search form component but being handled by car search component. So this is how you can fire the component events and can handle the component event. Only thing that we need to keep in mind is your component event can only be handled by the same by the parent component or the same component, and they should belong to the same component hierarchy. So your car search form component cannot be handled by any other component which are visible on this page apart from car search component, which is the parent of it. Let me see what we have left for today. Yeah, so this is it for today. I did not cover much today, just to give you the, I just wanted to give you the basic idea of component event, because again I'm saying this is the core of Lightning framework and you will be using event uh, uh, a lot more once you will start developing the Lightning component, because without events your Lightning component cannot communicate to each other. So that's why I just wanted to cover only component events today. Just do practice this as much as you can. I have, in today's assignment, what I have covered, I have given you the link of from where you can read about the component event. You can simply go to this developer uh, developer.salesforce.com and you can read about the component events here. Read this complete article. So it also explains where you want to stop the propagation of your component event. So let's say again, let's come back to our application and let's see your car tile event is firing an component event. So your car tile event will have your car tile component has a parent car search result and also has a grandparent called car search. So once you fire an event from a child component, it first go to the exact the immediate parent, so which is car search result, and then it will go up to the hierarchy. So it's up to you where do you want to stop the propagation of the event. So in your car search result you can stop the propagation so that the event will never reach to your car search component. So those are the things which are explained here on the which explained in this developer.salesforce.com website. Do check these out, because I cannot cover in our session, cannot cover everything in our session, but do check these out and do some deep dive at least in custom component events and application event that we'll be covering. So these two topic uh, do need your deep dive from your side. Please do check these links and read all these four pages. So you should be able to have the clear picture of component events. Apart from that, uh, this is a trailhead module that you need to complete. So this trailhead module includes most of the topics that we have covered in our week one. So do give it a try, complete this module. It will only take 25 minutes, and every step is being covered in the project. So like you just need to follow the step, that's it. But while following, I think you should be able to relate these with our sessions and the topics that we have covered in our earlier sessions. Then also, one thing that maybe you all are wondering about the data of our rent a car application, from where it is coming from. And you may not want to insert this whole data by yourself and create those car records, car type records, contact records, and everything. So what I've done, I have created two Apex classes to create this data for you along with a static resource. So the link will be given in the description. All these links will be given in the video description, but this is available on my GitHub repository. You can see it here. So these are the Apex classes to create the data and the delete the data for you. You do not have to create these uh, car and car type record by yourself. You do not want to. Obviously, if you want to, you can do it. But along with that, I have included our static resource file as well here. Import this static resource file in your org, and copy this create data file. And I have included the steps how to call this create data file and how to create the data for your org. So once you follow this, you should be having the exact identical data that I have for me in my org, with all these car images and the contact name and everything. So these are the three tasks for you today. But apart from that, as I always say, please do share whatever you have learned today. And if you have any question, please ask those on the forum. And one thing that we have started from today, we have started taking the questions in the beginning of the session, because since you guys are not able to implement it during the session, so I'll take today's session's question tomorrow. Once you'll implement it by yourself and you face few errors, then we'll be discussing these uh, questions or these issues tomorrow. Do join me 5 to 10 minutes before the session so that we can discuss your questions. This is the sneak peek of session 7. So what we are going to cover, we are going to uh, create our car search result component. So tomorrow we'll be completing this part of application, this main section of the application. So once you click on the submit button, these cars should show up on your matching car section, and this will be covering tomorrow. So it will include calling your child component action from your parent action. So today we have seen how to call your parent action using your child action by using component events. So something you are firing from your child component and being executed in your parent component. Tomorrow we'll see the vice versa, how you can do it, how you can call your child component from your parent component. So that will be covered under Aura method. Do check it out in advance if you want to. And then we'll be understanding the grid layouts, how to generate this kind of UI, and we'll be seeing like what grid layout Lightning framework follows. And we'll be seeing about ternary operator as well. So these are the topics for tomorrow. Thank you everyone. Thanks for joining me. Have a good day.